there's no guarantee that the Americans and the Israelis are even going to keep fighting the Iranians. It may well be that as soon as the Arabs announce that they are going to fight the Iranians, the Americans withdraw, they let the Arabs do the fighting, and the Americans go from spending their resources on the war to extracting resources from the war. The Arabs go from relying on the Americans to do the fighting to paying the Americans for weapons and doing the fighting on behalf of the Americans. The US effectively becomes an arms dealer for the Arabs as they go and they fight the Iranians. The Israelis might also withdraw, and the Arabs entering this war would fix their framing problem. This goes from being Israel's war to being a regional war that the Arabs need to fight in order to contain the bad guys who are the Iranians. In other words, the Arabs are not guaranteed that even if they enter this war, the Americans and the Israelis will continue to fight alongside them against the Iranians. Because for the Israelis, the ideal scenario, and this is what's been suggested by Hamid bin Jassim implicitly in his tweet, the ideal scenario for the Israelis is that the Arabs and the Iranians do the fighting against each other. They all become weak as a result, and then the Israelis expand their borders to try to establish this greater Israel that the Israeli ambassador to the US ambassador to Israel, Mike Huckabee, said that Israel can go as far as it wants, and even implying that the Americans might actually support them in this.